Variegated succulents are incredibly popular, but many can be only propagated one way. Variegation is a mutation where coloring changes on leaves, flowers, stems, and even fruits. It can present as stripes, speckles, or patches. Most people think of plants like this when the word variegation is mentioned, but the color change can be any color, not just cream and white. In this video, I'm mostly going to show you plants that have the most popular types of variegation, which is white, cream, or mint, as that is what the majority of folks look for. There's one thing you need to know about the light color type of variegation. Most white and cream variegation is a recessive gene trait, and therefore the plant may be more difficult to grow and propagate. Because of this, variegated plants often revert back to its original coloring, especially when propagated, and can be susceptible to further mutations. I'll make a separate video on variegation next week, as it is something that needs a more detailed explanation. For this video, this is all we need to know. Cuttings of offsets and branches is the only way I ever propagate variegated plants, as it is likely the variegation will continue. When propagating branches, I would recommend choosing those with a good amount of original coloring. It's super tempting to propagate highly variegated parts that have more white or cream areas, but it's best for the plant's survival if it's more green and less white. The reason is that the light colored parts lack pigment and production of chlorophyll is almost non-existent. This inhibits growth. The more green or original color there is, the better the plant is likely to grow. I would also recommend to not propagate cuttings that are borderline albino. They may not survive at all. It can be a bit harder to choose good balance of variegated and non-variegated parts when it comes to propagating offsets or chicks. You will have to make do with what the plant gives you. However, if the offset is way too light colored, it may be best to leave it attached to the parent, as it may die on its own. Be patient and let the offset grow to a good size before removing. It will help greatly when establishing. Many variegated plants like lots of light, but because they lack pigment, they can also burn even if the sun is not that hot. Growing them under shade cloth can solve this issue, as the shade cloth will reflect damaging UV but let enough light in for the plant to thrive. I use 30% most of the year, though when it gets hot in summer, I'll usually double it up to 60% for the duration of hot and sunny weather. The reason I don't usually have more than 30% all year round is that some succulents can stretch and grow leggy if the shade level is too much. If you don't have shade cloth, the next best thing is to leave the cuttings in dappled light under a tree or in morning sun afternoon shade position. The cuttings can be raised in succulent potting mix, seed raising mix, or propagation sand. I also water when the potting medium gets dry. I have a whole video on how to propagate cuttings and will link it here and in the description below. Some succulents don't produce very many offsets, but you can still force them to grow by topping or beheading. You'll increase your chances of new offset growing if you leave some leaves at the bottom part. It is possible not all offsets will grow variegated, but the odds are usually quite good. I'm going to lump leaf and seed propagation together, as the results are often the same. I'm going to talk about different types of variegation in my next video, but basically you can have stable variegation and unstable. Some literature says that stable variegation will produce variegated plants even through leaf and seed propagation, but this has not been my experience. More than 90% of the time, leaves and seed from variegated plants are likely to produce either fully albino or non-variegated plants. Over the last 12 years or so of running my nursery, I've tried this with so many different variegated plants, and the results were always the same. More often than not, I'd not get a single variegated seedling or a leaf baby. If you've tried yourself, please do chime in the comments, as I'd be very interested to know if you managed to grow any this way. I'd also recommend to not waste money on seeds of variegated plants online, as this is 99.9% a scam. So in conclusion, cuttings are the best way to go when propagating variegated plants. You can try the seed and leaf if you want to experiment, but I would not get my hopes up. And that's all for today. I hope this was useful. Please don't forget to like, comment and share so I can make more videos like this.